Hey there, CPO here, and I'm going to do a series on basically American Football 101 for Fire fan players who may not be familiar with the sport. The cool thing about Fire fan is it's bringing people together and they're engaging around sporting events even if they don't fully understand how the game works. So, for example, in this particular question, this is a question starting up from a drive. The Raiders have possession, and you're asked, how will this drive end? And you have these choices: touchdown, field goal attempt, downs, turnover, punt, other. Well, for those of us that understand football, we can make logical choices on what we think is going to happen in that drive, whether we're right or wrong. But for people who don't fully understand the sport, they may not know what all these things mean. So I'm going to tell you exactly what all of these choices could mean. So a touchdown is probably the one most people are going to be familiar with. That's the essential primary scoring mechanism in football. That's the goal, no pun intended, is to make a touchdown. That's when the team that has the ball, the possession, that's when they get the ball into the end zone and cross that line where the 0-yard line is. There's two cones, one on either end, and go into the end zone with the ball. That is a touchdown, and that's the goal. That's worth 6 points to the team, and then they can follow that up with either a field goal or a 2-point conversion. Touchdown is the big scoring event for the drive. So field goal attempts happen when there's not an opportunity necessarily in that drive for a touchdown, but they're within range to kick the ball through the uprights of the goalpost. So you'll see this in many cases when they get within about 20 or 30 yards of the touchdown end zone, but they're still quite far away for a touchdown. But 30 yards, even 40 yards, and sometimes as much as 50 yards, there's still a chance for them to kick a field goal. So that's the second best option in most cases, and that will get them 3 points. So downs. Let me explain this. Each team, when they have possession of the ball, has 4 opportunities, 4 downs, to move the ball forward. If they get 10 yards from where they just started with the ball, then they restart first down. And every time they make another 10 yards, they get a new first down. And that's what their goal is as they progress down the field. We call that moving the ball forward. If they can make it to that first down marker, then they start their downs all over again. If they don't get to that point and they're on their 4th down, their last attempt, and they don't do something which either gets the ball to the other team, a punt, we'll talk about that here in a second, or results in a score, either a field goal or a touchdown, then generally what happens is that drive will end in a turnover on downs, which means they used up all 4 of their downs and the other team takes over the ball right then and there. You'll also see it in opportunities like this, where the Ravens were going to attempt a field goal, but it got massively disrupted, and their 4th down was just killed, and the Patriots were able to take over the ball right there. That would have been a turnover by downs at that point. Sometimes teams will try and go for it on 4. If they're really close, within a yard or two, usually within inches, they will make an attempt to go ahead and get that first down. If that doesn't happen, the ball changes hands right then and there. So turnover. You're most familiar with the terms fumble and probably interception. So interception is if a ball is passed and the defending team catches the ball, which is not the team that threw the ball, then they can grab the ball and now they have possession. That's a turnover, and they did it by interception. Another very common term is fumble. If a ball carrier or a quarterback or whomever that has the ball ends up dropping the ball and the other team takes possession of that, that's generally a fumble. And I'm being generic here, but those happen from time to time on the field. Punt. if a team is not able to move forward to get within scoring range, either from a touchdown or a field goal attempt, then their goal is to get the ball as far away as they can, so the other team has to work harder to get it all the way back to the other side. So they do that by punting the ball. So with a punt, they've basically decided they're not able to move the ball forward anymore. Almost always it happens on the 4th down. It's their last opportunity for that possession. So they use that turn, that last down, to kick the ball as far as they can. And their goal is to try and get it as close to the other end zone as possible without going into the end zone. So other could mean something as simply as the clock running out. Time runs out while they've got the ball. We see this a lot at the end of halves or at the end of a game where the clock is ticking down seconds, and the team that has the ball, rather than choosing to make a pass play or a rush play or a run play, they may decide just to let the clock run out, or even kneel and take a down, use one of their downs just to kill the play, and then let the clock run down. And that would be an example of a drive ending with an other. Another other might be a safety. If a ball carrier is downed in their own end zone, then the other team gets 2 points for that safety. And this happens when the team is lined up basically in their own end zone. And here's a great example from the Patriots-Ravens game where this actually happened. It was a super phenomenal placed punt by the Patriots, which put the Ravens like right at their end zone, the 1 or 2 yard line, and they were immediately in dangerous territory. If anybody tackles the quarterback or any other player gets stopped back in that area, then it's an instant safety, and that's exactly what happens. So those are some of the ways that a drive can end, and hopefully knowing that will help you look at these questions and better understand what a logical option is. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.